Hi, St. Peter's. It's Father Stephen coming back to give you a little bit of a heads up on where we are. We've finally made some progress that I think is substantive enough to give you a more clearer sense after all the cleaning of our building, what kind of direction the renewal and rebuilding, renovation is taking, so that you can get a sense of what we're getting for the resources that we're putting forth and putting the building back together. So I thought I'd walk through. We're going to do it in two sections. We're going to walk through to the downstairs first. I'll do that in this video, and then head upstairs and do the second video and give you a sense of what's going on in the church nave. A lot of great work going on right now. It's really hard to project exactly or even generally when the work will be done. We've had estimates from 4 to 6 weeks in terms of this build back stuff, but as we get upstairs, we'll show you some of the complications that is slowing down the process. We've made the decisions that we need to make in order to put the building back together for worship and for activities, but a lot of this depends on the schedules of contractors and all that sort of thing. So with that, let's go ahead and walk through, and I hope you'll enjoy our time together as we view the church. We're walking, using the keypad here. I'm not going to show you my code because it's secret. Okay. Last time we made this video, it was really noisy in here, and you'll remember there were fans and things like that, but now all the cleaning has been done, so that type of noise is no longer necessary. What you might find on a normal day nowadays are the sounds of saws and hammers and things like that of putting the building back together. So here we go. We're in the hallway next to the old parish hall, which I hope we can start calling the activity room or the activity hall, because we've got so many activities going on there, and that would differentiate it from our parish hall, which is where we have fellowship and things like that. So the activity hall is currently through this way, and it has all of our stored material, and if you look up, you can see that the building, or the ceiling, still doesn't have ceiling tiles in it yet. That'll be something that's coming. There's not much different about this room. It was used as a clean room for all of our materials once they cleaned them and moved them in here so that they could later clean the classrooms. So moving this way, we're working on our kitchen. We're working on these hallways. Let me turn the light on here. All right, this is going to be one of the areas that is a primary adjustments in the ministry here at St. Peter's. Sorry, I was showing you the inside of a wall. Okay, I'll turn this light on. So what we'll see in our new classroom area is some opened up spaces. If you've walked down here before, you have noticed that with the low ceiling, which we didn't adjust the height of the ceiling, with a low ceiling and with these solid walls all the way down, it was very claustrophobic feeling in this space. Many of us have kind of seen it as like kind of just a dungeon. And we wanted to communicate to folks that it's an open space, a welcoming space, and specifically when we begin to host programs for kids, we wanted them to feel welcome. And y'all know my background is in architecture, and so these are some of the things that we understand about the spaces that we inhabit and work in and learn in, is that the space actually has an impact on you. My undergraduate degree was in environmental design, and in this day and age, people think that has to do with being green or being pro-environment or something like that. Environmental design had to do with the environments that we inhabit as people. And so we want to create environments that we inhabit as places that are welcoming, that are functional, and that are able to do the things that we want to do with the group of people that we're hoping to do that with. And in specific, we want to do education down here. We want to do that with all age groups, with young children, all the way up to adults. So we also have our choir down here as well. And again, it was kind of claustrophobic. So we're going to walk through these rooms just real quick, and I'll briefly touch on them as we go. And I mentioned some of these in the previous video, that we're opening up these window passages or window openings so that we're complying with our Safeguarding God's Children policies. We don't want to have any hidden spaces, any spaces that aren't visible, where we can make sure that we maintain the safety of kids. In this room, you can see this cutout was not here. This cutout in the window opening here. This will be a beautiful piece of glass, and the mural on the other side of the wall will be nicely lit. That's been here for a long time for parishioners and visitors to enjoy. Also the murals in some of the other classrooms. I'll go ahead and turn this light on so you might see it a little better. So this classroom also will have a window here, as you see. In the past, this room has been an office, and folks do like to have a little bit more of an opening for offices, even if we have to put blinds or something like that. You can see that this has been framed out really nicely. All of these window spaces have been framed out really nicely to allow light from inside, and also to provide the ability to see and have security. It's really wonderful. Of course, as I mentioned before, the ceilings are not installed yet, but that will be something we've done. All the carpentry work that has been done, and repair to drywall and things like that is about to take place in some of the other smaller areas. But we have essentially the great skeleton of what's going to be happening down here. The last window that we put in is in the choir room. And if you had ever been in the choir room, you know it was just really isolated back here. And opening up these spaces like this really is helpful to communicate a place of openness and safety. It's a big, big thing. Let me turn this light on in this room, and you'll see we also installed some cabinetry in the back, or some shelving in the back for the storage of choir robes, and little cubby holes and things like that for choir members to store their purses or backpacks, that sort of thing. So it's very simple. Again, the thing that I hope you'll embrace with me is the purpose and the use of this space. We really hope that this will be an environment where people can come and learn, that we can teach the gospel, teach the scriptures, teach the teachings of the church, and help encourage and build the faith that God has put in us, especially as it applies to our own folks, as well as children that we hope to nurture and develop in their own faith. The one last thing I'll show you as another kind of safety issue. We're hoping that as we move along, this back door actually is an exterior door with an exterior light, and it's a safety kind of fire exit. And we hope that in the long run, we'll also be able to get some more natural light into this space, possibly by creating a security door here, but that has security glass or windows, perhaps like you would see in a school building, that is tempered glass that won't shatter or break, but will allow some light in here. And that would be great. That'd be the first act of getting some natural light in this space once we get back in here. So without kind of further ado, that's the completion. I turned that off so we can see you a little better. That's the completion of our little walkthrough downstairs. We are getting much, much closer. We still have some time because we've got overlapping contractors. This is the first day in weeks that there hasn't been work going on. But it's really starting to transform and take shape, and we'll be able to see more clearly before our next video, or before we actually get back in the space, what it's going to look like. So we're heading upstairs now, and I will see you in just a moment.